greatness that night. It's about the fight. It ain't about the champion. It's about the fight. That's all I care about, the fight.
But Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is...
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank.
Calvin Ford, coach of Gervonta Davis, fired back at Lamont Roach during the rematch press conference, declaring, "It's over, they'll see who the real champion is." Ford's bold and confident remarks made it clear he has full faith in Gervonta's dominance and expects nothing less than victory in the ring.
And sit there and say to themselves like they came from a karate movie, man, I want to fight just like Tank. I want to be just like Tank.
Gervonta Davis is entering his upcoming rematch with unwavering focus and determination. Aware of how crucial this fight is for his legacy and reputation, he's taken his preparation to the next level. Every training session is carefully structured to boost his physical conditioning and refine his technical abilities. This time around, Davis is determined to correct past mistakes and return to the ring as a sharper, more dangerous fighter. His team is all in, knowing this bout is a pivotal moment in reasserting his dominance in the sport.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling.
Reuniting with coach Calvin Ford has breathed new life into Gervonta Davis's training camp. Their long-standing bond, rooted in trust, respect, and a deep understanding of Davis's style and mentality, has once again become a driving force in his preparation. Ford has been instrumental in shaping Davis from a raw talent into a polished, aggressive, and strategic fighter. This renewed partnership brings both emotional fuel and tactical precision, boosting Davis's confidence and ensuring every detail of his training is geared toward reclaiming championship glory.
Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing
For Gervonta Davis, the rematch is far more than just another fight. It's a crucial opportunity to restore his reputation and silence the critics who questioned his abilities after their first encounter. The initial bout cast doubt on his dominance, making this next clash a defining moment in his career. A convincing victory would reaffirm Davis as one of boxing's elite and prove that the previous result was a rare misstep, not a true measure of his talent. This fight holds deep personal and professional meaning for Tank.
Lamont Roach, he feels that he won. Like, do you think the best thing going forward, they should just run it back, have a rematch?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think a rematch is definitely called for. And I think probably, the sooner the better. So I would say, hey, let's work on a deal to where we could get in there within the next 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, I agree there.
In their first encounter, Gervonta Davis displayed uncharacteristic vulnerabilities that hadn't been seen in his past performances. His defense wasn't as sharp, and his stamina faded as the fight wore on. Lamont Roach capitalized on these flaws, landing clean shots that threw off Davis's rhythm and shook his confidence. Fans and analysts quickly took notice, suggesting that Davis wasn't operating at his peak. Now, the rematch gives him a critical chance to correct those mistakes and demonstrate his true level as a top-tier fighter.
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of TankDavis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the black two sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused, and he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch, and when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that.
After the fight, Gervonta Davis spoke openly about the mental and emotional struggles he had been facing. He admitted that the intense pressure and fatigue had taken a toll on his focus and overall performance. The experience left him questioning his future in boxing, even considering stepping away from the sport. His decision to seek therapy underscored the seriousness of his internal battle, revealing that the impact of the fight extended far beyond the physical. Davis's vulnerability offered a rare glimpse into the emotional challenges fighters endure outside the spotlight.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on...
In preparation for the rematch, Gervonta Davis has completely overhauled his training environment. Every drill and sparring session is now executed with heightened intensity and laser-sharp precision. His footwork has become more fluid and balanced, and his reaction time has noticeably improved, allowing him to anticipate and counter with greater effectiveness. The laid-back approach of the past has been replaced by a renewed sense of discipline and urgency. It's clear that Davis views this fight as a crucial turning point, one that demands his absolute focus and commitment.
Stop closing up, gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
The stakes in this fight go far beyond titles or rankings. The first bout, which ended in a draw, dealt a blow to Gervonta Davis's pride and raised questions about his standing in the boxing world. This personal setback has ignited a powerful drive for redemption and recognition. Davis is now fueled by a need to reaffirm his worth and re-establish himself among the sports elite. The rematch isn't just about winning, it's a fight for respect, identity, and honor, making it one of the most emotionally charged and meaningful bouts of his career.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else, and that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at that like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims on all his receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Davis's camp approached the first fight with a well-researched strategy, built around a clear understanding of Roach's strengths and tendencies. Their game plan aimed to capitalize on what they believed were key vulnerabilities in Roach's style. While the strategy made sense on paper, its execution faltered in the ring. For the rematch, rather than starting from scratch, Davis's team is fine-tuning that original plan, focusing on cleaner execution, tighter tactical discipline, and applying pressure at key moments to turn their vision into a winning performance.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put the icing on the cake. That's all. Just hit the gears a little harder. That's all. He hit the gears hard enough the last time, but boxing is a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people, unfair people. Anybody saw that first fight that Jalil lost, they don't know boxing.
If Jalil is successful in this fight, what do you guys expect for Jalil? And then, obviously Eddie Hearn had a lot to say when Jalil took that loss.
Teofimo Lopez weighed in on the aftermath of the controversial first bout, noting that Gervonta Davis was left isolated in its wake, as criticism from the boxing community quickly mounted. Many questioned Davis's status, adding pressure and doubt to an already difficult situation. Lopez emphasized how such intense scrutiny can affect a fighter's confidence and alter public perception. His remarks highlight the high stakes of the upcoming rematch. Davis isn't just fighting to win, but to restore his reputation and re-earn the respect of fans and fellow fighters.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta TankDavis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but it's a part of our psychology. We're not we have to learn how to care about other people. You know?
Teofimo Lopez weighed in on the aftermath of the controversial first bout, noting that Gervonta Davis was left isolated in its wake, as criticism from the boxing community quickly mounted. Many questioned Davis's status, adding pressure and doubt to an already difficult situation. Lopez emphasized how such intense scrutiny can affect a fighter's confidence and alter public perception. His remarks highlight the high stakes of the upcoming rematch. Davis isn't just fighting to win, but to restore his reputation and re-earn the respect of fans and fellow fighters.
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Camp for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. You know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. But everything else, he made me believe in Camp for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. You know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision.
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but nah, I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lesson though?
Absolutely, you know what I mean? But you gotta just do, it seemed like, cause I feel like he did, not only did he shock the world, it's like, I guess you just gotta do more on top of that. Like, you just gotta do more, I guess.
Roach is showing in the first fight.
Became a ballsy fighter, which he's never been, according to everybody in the DC and Maryland area. You know, like,
but there were
it's all coming out. It's all coming out. It's already been known before, but we never got to see it because nobody pushed Tank.
There were points early in that fight. I thought Tank was out hustling Lamont. He was just, you know, Lamont wasn't taking charge early on, and Gervonta, who's normally, but he was getting hit with straight left hands and getting turned and getting hit with straight left. His nose and mouth were red.
But that's the thing. What Tank does, what Teddy Atlas yelled at Michael Moore about. Tank wants to be able to hit you and hope you leave him alone. And when you don't do that, he starts to fade and fold.
Okay,
that's not championship caliber mentality.
We're talking about two guys who weren't big punchers. Okay, 12 rounds, I can hit you and make you miss, and hit you and make you miss, and hit you.
But I can keep the game plan. You can keep the game plan.
So what if Gervonta goes out there and shows his boxing
Let's compare it to, say, a Tommy Morrison, who used to blow you away, but if he couldn't, he was gone. He was gassed out after a few rounds. There's a mentality where.
But Tank's not that guy we saw against Isaac Cruz. He was able.
Okay, Isaac Cruz, looking back now, even Valenzuela outboxed Isaac Cruz.
Okay,
dude.
but
I mean, come on.
But did he do it?
Apply the trade. Listen, it happens.
Well, we don't know exactly.
Your hands are going to be
we don't know
did he get surgery after the Isaac Cruz fight? No.
I don't know. Maybe. I had a ton of surgeries. I had a ton of surgeries that the public knew nothing about. So I don't know.
I mean, they kind of know.
So
Paulie, you can see where you can see hand surgery scars. Yeah. See my scars? My hand, I got a tic-tac-toe board all over my hand. When you get surgery, you can see that.
But Paulie, his argument, and you guys are on different sides of it in a different way, where he says tactically there's more to add to Gervonta. Gervonta could have done things that he didn't do.
Physically, there's a lot
you see it mentally. Yes. Is that harder to deal with?
I believe so, because physically, Gervonta has all the goods. That's why he's sold as the product he sold at. You look at Gervonta physically: speed, athleticism, power, timing,
ability to change direction.
If this guy has balls, he's really a pound-for-pound fighter that everybody claims he is. But because he doesn't have balls, I don't know that he's even a pound-for-pound fighter. I don't even know that he would be a lightweight champion if they didn't mix and match his opponents accordingly. You know what I'm saying? He probably shouldn't even be a lightweight champion now because Lamont Roach beat him the other week.
I got a great saying. So you always say, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah.
That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more updates and analysis. Until next time, fight fans.